English idiom for the squirrel feeds itself arduously. I am looking for an English equivalent to the German idiom muss ernährt sich das Eichhörnchen, which literally translates to the squirrel feeds itself arduously. It's used to describe any arduous or cumbersome task that has a lot of minuscule steps and ultimately reaches the target. Exactly as the squirrel that gathers hundreds of nuts and hides them in dozens of places for months to prepare for the winter. It is mainly used as self-motivation or justification after reaching seemingly no progress. I worked all day and I feel like I didn't make any progress. Well, muss ernährt sich das Eichhörnchen. I found slowly but surely, but I am looking for something more visual.
Rome was not built in a day equals it took hundreds of years to build Rome. The proverb is usually quoted by a person who has been blamed for slow work, or to a person who is impatient at not being immediately successful in what he tries to do. Common English proverbs. I worked all day and I feel like I didn't make any progress. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. Important work takes time. This expression functions as an injunction or plea for someone to be patient. For example, you can't expect her to finish this project in the time allotted. Rome wasn't built in a day. This phrase was a French proverb in the late 1100s but was not recorded in English until 1545.
I am not sure if there's a proverb/idiom with the exact same meaning, but I can suggest the following. Every little helps. You just took a baby step. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. First step is always the hardest. Wiktionary. Alternative forms. Every little bit helps. Proverb. Every little helps. Britain. Even the smallest things are helpful when towards a goal. Noun. Baby step. Plural. Baby steps. A small effort made towards the completion of a much larger task. Learning a new language is difficult, so we'll learn by taking baby steps. Proverb. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Even the longest and most difficult ventures have a starting point. TFD. First step is always the hardest. Prov. Starting a new endeavor is the hardest part of it. Fred. I want to quit smoking, but I can't convince myself to sign up for the Stop Smoking program. Jill. The first step is always the hardest. If I can just start this project, I know the rest will be easy. The first step is always the hardest.
How about light at the end of the tunnel? It doesn't involve squirrels or nuts, but it works well in your example. And it's more visual than slowly but surely. From the Free Dictionary. Light at the end of the tunnel, the end of a difficult period or job. Light at the end of the tunnel, something which makes you believe that a difficult or unpleasant situation will end. Light at the end of the tunnel, the end of a difficult situation or task. The solution to a difficult problem. Light at the end of the tunnel, the prospect of success, relief, or escape after strenuous effort. Tunnel represents prolonged difficulty, lack of progress, or the darkness resulting from same. Light represents the end of difficulty, progress/success, or the light associated with same. Your example. I worked all day and I feel like I didn't make any progress. Well, soon you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. Note the motivational aspects of the second sentence, which one could complete in numerous ways.
Brick by brick, adverb. Example. We think leads will recover step by step and brick by brick. You can use it more figuratively also. There are more examples at this URL. This is kind of related to the already proposed Rome wasn't built in a day. But based on the dialogue example you gave, I would rather reference another animal. In the dialogue, the second person is giving the first person some encouragement, creating an identification with an animal in the natural world. So here's what I would suggest. I worked all day and I feel like I didn't make any progress. Well, sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But you'll get there in the end. The animal that goes 2 steps forward, 1 step back, is the snail. I think that in Germany snails are small and cute, right? And they are very patient. So hopefully this approaches the charm of your original.
The visual imagery of the AME idiom nickel and dime suits your ask. The idiom came to mind because I recalled a roadside panhandler's sign, along with the kinetic image of him chasing coins thrown from car windows. Those nickels and dimes add up. At first I thought it might not be suitable, because it is most often used negatively, as shown by definition 1 of the transitive verb in American heritage. Nickel and dime. V.tr. 1. To drain or destroy bit by bit, especially financially, nickel and dime the project to death. 2. To accumulate in small amounts, nickel and diming a substantial bankroll together, Newsweek. American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language, 5th edition. SV, nickel and dime, retrieved September 16, 2016 from this URL. However, as exampled by the panhandler and evidenced by definition 2 from American Heritage, a suitable context or a skilled speaker may quite easily bring out a positive sense of the idiom, and it will be readily understood by those familiar with the low value of American nickels and dimes.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.